edition of Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, where we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville, academics, athletics, the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. We talk about new construction projects, new programs going on at the university as well. And today we talk about an exciting new project for those in the literary world. We'll find out more details about that. Where the 99 leads, we talk about the historic 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus, but also lead from campus into the world and, of course, into our community. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and joined by special guest today, back again, Amanda Runyon, instructor of developmental English at the University of Pikeville. Amanda, welcome back in.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
For those just tuning in that have never met Amanda Runyon, let's have a little background, how you arrived at the University of Pikeville.
Sure. I actually graduated from what was then Pikeville College, and I just stuck around. I did my master's degree at Morehead State University, and I came back to campus. I worked in administration for several years, and I've been teaching full-time for the past 4 years. I coach the academic team, and so I'm involved in a few little endeavors up on campus, and happy to be there.
And you have a passion for reading and writing. We'll talk more about that and how it relates to today's program as well. Also joined by Chuck Johnson, instructor of English at the university. Chuck, welcome to Where the 99 Lead.
Thanks, I'm happy to be here.
And your first time here.
It is.
Let's talk about Chuck Johnson. Let's talk about your background and your journey to arrive at the university.
I'm from this area. I'm originally from Prestonsburg and moved away after high school and got an education, went to Morehead like Amanda, and got my PhD at the University of Southern Mississippi, and came back in 2003 and just started at UPike in 2012.
Very good. And of course, I'm a little intimidated when we have English instructors here in studio. I feel like every word is being judged and graded, and red ink pens are out after everything that I speak. So excuse me if I'm a little intimidated by that. But Amanda, you've joined us before. We've talked about your love for reading.
Wow.
We've talked about many literary works that you have passed on to students. We've talked about World Book Nights and things like that. Today's no different. You have another project on campus that the campus and community can get involved in, and that's the Pikeville Review. It's a publication of contemporary Appalachian pieces. Mm-hmm. What's currently in the works for the publication, and tell us a little more about the Pikeville Review.
Okay, the Pikeville Review is a journal. It's a journal of contemporary Appalachian literature. It will be filled with poetry and fiction and creative nonfiction from all over the area. And it's meant to be a lasting part of our culture, not just here in Pikeville, but all over Appalachia. The review actually started in the 80s. It was a long-running literary journal, very well respected. And it kind of went away around 2007, and so Dr. Johnson and I are working on reviving that and bringing that back to life.
Very good. Dr. Johnson, why is celebrating Appalachian literature so important?
Well, for me, it's both our heritage, it's our history, as well as our present. And anytime we look back at our past and as well as look at our present, I think it helps us examine the future.
How is Appalachian literature different from other types?
Do we need a list of criteria for exactly what? That's hard to do. I mean, for most of us, it's just another form of regional literature that is either set here or about here or relates to issues around this area.
Sure.
And sometimes it's just written by people who just love this area.
Right.
So, it's just kind of focuses not necessarily on one theme, but that there's just some sort of tie to the area. And just like Chuck said, I think it's really important because through literature is how we learn about ourselves. We learn about how to empathize with other people. We learn about what's going on in the world. We learn about what's going on in our own little worlds and how that relates to the big picture. So I think it's really important to be able to examine that and appreciate it.
And this publication will not only provide that outlet for people who are within the arts relating to this area, but it will also help preserve those arts.
Sure. You've been outside the area
I have.
and Appalachian literature. When others take a look at Appalachian literature, how's it received?
It comes and goes. I mean, part of what it does is helps dispel some of those stereotypes about the people from East Kentucky, and that's something. Culture and stereotypes and social issues are something that the arts are often all about.
Right. Amanda, you and Dr. Johnson are both published authors. Tell us about your interest in Appalachian literature in particular, and how you share your passion with students.
Well, being able to share my passion for reading and writing in general has always been really important to me in the classroom, no matter what level I'm teaching. And this is no different, to be able to teach students who are from the area a little more about their history and a little bit more about what's going on in their area today. But not only that, but just like Chuck said, to introduce people to what this place is. So we have students who come in, so I love to be able to share that. And next semester I actually, I'm going to be teaching Appalachian literature as a course, so I'm really excited about that.
Right.
Right now is just, it's a great time for Appalachian literature. We have some amazing contemporary authors with books that are just phenomenal, that can stand beside literature from any time in any area.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that.
Who are some of those authors?
Of Silas House, for one. In fiction, Silas House, Carter Sickles, we have Karen McElmurray, and we have Marianne Worthington and Morris Manning, who is a Kentucky poet and who was actually on a short list for the Pulitzer last year.
Wow.
So we have some really big things happening in Appalachian literature that's really important for us to look at now.
Very good. Chuck, when did you first discover your love of Appalachian literature?
For me, it was when I was a kid. I think my mother gave me a book of short stories by Jesse Stewart, and I just thought it was the coolest thing that all the stories were from this area. You know, most of his works are set around Ashland, and then when I went to Moorhead, they had a large Jesse Stewart collection, and I just got immersed in it.
Right. Amanda, share with us the history of publishing the Pikeville Review on campus. You've talked about that it's been around since the 80s. It went
That's right.
silent for a little while. Is it the only publication that the campus has been involved with?
No, actually, and I just recently discovered that even before the Pikeville Review was around, we had a literary journal called Twigs. And I came upon a couple of back issues of Twigs just a little while ago, and was just amazed, because looking at these old issues, and these were from the 70s, it's very apparent that literature has been a big priority for our area for a long time.
Sure.
We had published I found a spring 1977 issue of Twigs, and we had published poetry by Maureen Moorhead, who was the 2012 Kentucky Poet Laureate. So we had also published Jane Stewart, who is the daughter of Jesse Stewart, Chuck was mentioning.
Right.
So we've had some really big, important names in our publications, which, you know, people who have come into their own in the literary world and since then developed. So this has been a really important publication for those types of people.
And this is a thing that's going on right now too, that's an interesting overlap, because our library is currently in the process of digitizing and preserving a lot of old Pikeville and Pike County artifacts.
Right.
That have just mostly been stored in boxes and so on, and they're trying to create this record, and because Amanda has been delving into the back issues of the Pikeville Review and other publications like it, there's been this overlap that's been really interesting, because we keep, Amanda in particular, keeps finding new stuff, new directions this is going in.
It's been wonderful. I've worked very closely with Edna Fugit. She's our archivist, and she's helped me to find some of these publications in the past. And some of these are just I mean, they're all treasures because they're all literature of the time, you know,
Right.
whatever time they were published in. But it's just really wonderful to go back and see what names we recognize now,
Right.
like Miss Moorhead, who became the Kentucky Poet Laureate, and just to see how far they went and how Pikeville College then and the University of Pikeville can be a part of that, how we can play a role in their progress towards literary success.
You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. Today we talk about the Pikeville Review, a publication of contemporary Appalachian pieces. Joined by Dr. Chuck Johnson, instructor of English, and Amanda Runyon at the University of Pikeville. And we talk about the Pikeville Review. What type of literary works will be published in the Pikeville Review, and when do you hope to have the first printing?
Well, we just rolled out our call for submissions on September 1, and we will be accepting submissions from all over the place until December 15th.
Okay.
We are accepting fiction, poetry, and creative nonfiction, which is a type of essay that tends towards the creative side but has some nonfiction elements in there. We're hoping for publication. Our goal is publication in March. We plan on collecting submissions until December, and then we will notify the authors who will be included in the book in January and go to print in March. We're going to have a book release party in March. We'll invite you. I'm sure everybody knows about that. And then the book will be available from March all through the summer.
The Pikeville Review. Who makes the selections that will be included?
Chuck and I do.
Very good. You've got a lot of reading in front.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it, though. We've already received several submissions, and that's, you know, I was pretty impressed that we just rolled out the call on September 1st, and we've already received quite a few. And I have to say, they're pretty great. It's going to be a tough job.
Where do you expect the submissions to come from?
All over Appalachia. We've already received some through from Kentucky and Tennessee. This morning we got some poetry from North Carolina. So, you know, it's been a pretty wide range of places.
Right. And of course, open to anyone
Anyone.
to submit. UPike students,
That's right.
people from the surrounding communities, and then from throughout the Appalachian region.
That's right. We believe that everybody has stories to tell, and we want to hear them. We want to read those stories.
Very good. Dr. Johnson, what's been the response to the publication, and how can the community, UPike students, how can they be involved?
Well, it's brand new. Like Amanda said, we're just re-rolling this thing out. It kind of went away, and we're just now through programs like this getting word out there. Eventually, students are going to be involved in not only helping us with the layout. I mean, who knows? We might have a little editing group of students that do a lot of the decision making with us and for us. I'm all about getting students as involved in things like this as much as possible.
Very good. Amanda, how can the community become involved in other ways, whether it's like they'd like to submit their work or, of course, the finished product in March or so? How can they be involved? How can they purchase that product?
Well, we definitely want to invite everybody to submit. If you have a love for writing and reading, and if you have great stories to tell, we want to invite you to send us your work. Send us your fiction or your poetry so that we can get you involved with this. Right now we have a Facebook page that we're having a lot of fun with.
Sure.
We're having some giveaways right now. We're going to be doing trivia throughout the next few weeks, so we really want everybody to get involved there. Go and like our Facebook page,
Right.
and you'll learn a little bit more about us, a little bit more about the publication that way, and you can get involved in some fun giveaway and games that we're playing online to kind of work up until March, until we get everything published. But then we will put out a pre-order form when the book is getting ready to come from the printers,
Sure.
so that anyone who's interested can pre-order. And then, like I said, we will be having a book release party, and the entire community will be invited to that so that they can come in, purchase the book, and meet some of the authors. We hope to have some of the authors who are published in the book come in and do a reading.
It's exciting stuff.
It is.
As we get closer to that too, we'll have a link of some sort on the university website,
Yes.
so that we'll have a a spot there for people to find us easily.
You just began accepting submissions
Yes.
September 1st. How have you gotten the word out? You've gotten submissions from North Carolina. How have you gotten the word out? And again, give us that deadline if someone does have a submission.
Well, there's a pretty active literary community online. We know we created the Facebook page, so we got word of mouth basically through
Sure.
Facebook. But also, there are a lot of websites that are dedicated to getting publication information out to writers. So I've been busy contacting a lot of these websites to give them all of our information, and then everyone who visits them can see us, and they've sent work in. We have an email address. It's pikevilleReview@upike.edu, and that's where anybody should send any questions they have or any submissions. Our submission guidelines are laid out on the Facebook page,
Right.
but if you don't have Facebook and you just want to ask us some questions, send us an email and we'll send that out.
Sure. Again, Pikeville Review
Yes.
at upike.edu.
That's right.
That's us.
That's us. And the deadline for submissions is December the 15th.
Very good. Very good. Publication hopefully in March
That's right.
2015, the Pikeville Review. It goes back to the 80s. If someone would like to go back to the 80s and look at some of those editions, where can they find those?
Well, we've actually been working hard to collect all of those issues again and to get with Edna Fugit, our archivist.
Right.
And we're working on getting those digitized. So as soon as we get that in the works, we will be putting that up on our website
Very good.
so that anybody can access those that way.
Very good. Interesting to go back in time and see what the literature of Appalachia was in those days and times.
Absolutely.
Guys, it's an exciting project.
It is.
And I can see it in your faces that you're excited about this and looking forward to it. And we are too. We're looking forward to March now. I'm not one to submit, but
That's
I am
okay.
one that would show up at the party. I'm interested in reading the Pikeville Review, the next edition due in March. Contemporary Appalachian Pieces. Amanda Runyon, instructor of developmental English, and Dr. Chuck Johnson, instructor of English at the University of Pikeville, our guest. Guys, a final word before we wrap it up.
Well, we're so excited. Like you said, we are very excited. I think Chuck and I have had several meetings since we put this plan together, and we always leave just so energized. This is just an exciting project for people who love to read and people who love to write. This is a dream come true, to be able to edit your own journal that will bring together so many voices from around Appalachia. So I really hope to encourage everyone to send us some work and to come and see us in March when we get published.
And to help preserve the creative writing that's going on right now for generations later.
Very good. Dr. Johnson, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Again,
Thank you.
as always, our pleasure. You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. Today's subject, the Pikeville Review, a coming publication of contemporary Appalachian pieces. Stay tuned to Where the 99 Lead. Later on, prior to printing, we'll let you know more about how you can get your copy and be there for the book party. I'm Andrew Joyce for Where the 99 Lead, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.